This is the last part to the to my video of my trip. This is the last part. I had the first part, which was pretty much explaining that I was going to have a video of my trip to my mom's apartment, and then the second part was the trip to my mother's apartment, and then the third part was the video of the trip back from my mother's apartment, and this is the last part, which is just the video of me relaxing after that. So it actually on the on the second part, when I'm going to my mother's apartment, there was a I was kind of like going by the park, and then I saw a boy, but then I have like my camera up in the window, and this boy's like looking right at me, and I'm like, well, I shouldn't record people without asking them. So in part two, I put down the camera so that I'm not recording people without asking them. And that boy was looking right at me, so I'm like, oh, I shouldn't record people like that are like looking right at me. So I put the camera down for a moment, and then that's part two, and then pretty much made it all the way to my mother's apartment, and that seemed to go okay. And then on part three, going back from my mother's apartment, when I got back to on the way back, there's like a funeral home or something where they have wakes or something, and there was a lot of cars there, so I figured they're having a wake or a funeral. But again, instead of putting the camera on all the cars, you may notice on the way back, at one point there's a lot of cars on the side of the road, and there's a lot of cars in this parking lot, and I didn't really put the camera on the cars or put the camera on. I looked over to my right, where there was where the funeral home is, and there were some people standing there, and I didn't put the camera on those people either, because I wasn't going to record people without asking beforehand. So I kept recording the road or whatever, and then made it back from my mother's apartment, and that was it. I think that the video in parts went very well, and I am glad to have made a little bit of a video for my channel, and I will work on making some more interesting content, and maybe keep up with vlogs and things. Okay, so this is the last part to the video of my trip. First part was before I went on the trip. Second part was the way to my mother's apartment. Third part was the way back from my mother's apartment. And the fourth part, is me being back from the trip. Okay? So I think that it went very well, and I will work on making more interesting content in the future. Okay? Well, God bless.